In this video, I will show you how to do analysis in QGIS using the Processing Toolbox. Add the polygon layer provided in the exercise data. In the Processing tab, open the Toolbox. You will see the Processing Toolbox will open in a panel on the side. Firstly, I would like to use the Extract Vertices algorithm to create a point layer for the polygon. In the Search tab, you can start typing the name of the algorithm. You can see that the Extract Vertices algorithm is under the Vector Geometry tools. Double-click on the algorithm and it will open the dialog box. So our input layer, we would like to be the polygon that we've just added. It's going to create a temporary layer for the vertices, which is all right. You could give this a name and save it, but for what we need now, I'm just going to run it and it can create a temporary layer. Close the tool and you will see that the vertices around the edge of the polygon have been extracted. So if this polygon was made by someone walking in the field and points were made every so often and then a line was used to draw them together, these are the points that were taken by the person in the field. So that's a good way of thinking about how polygons were made. I'm just going to change the symbology of the vertices so that they're easier to see. I'm going to make them into just a black small dot. And you can see those nicely on the polygon. Next, I'd like to extract random points from this point layer that I just created or from the vertices. So in the search function of the toolbox, type random. And you can see under the vector selection tab that there is a random extract algorithm. Select the tool. And the layer that we would like to extract the points from is the vertices layer that we just created. We would like it to be by the number of features. If you click on the down, you can see that there's a percentage of features, but we want a specific number of features. And that number we would like to be 10. So this you can type in any number, but as per the worksheet, we'd like that to be 10. And I'm just going to create another temporary layer. Close the tool and you will see that random points have been chosen out of the vertices along the edge of the polygon. I'm just going to change the symbology a little bit so we can see them a bit easier. I'm going to make them a bright orange and so that you can pick them up nicely. Lastly, I'd like to create a convex hull around the points that I've created. So I'm going to use the minimum bounding geometry algorithm. And you can see under vector geometry, here is the minimum bounding geometry algorithm. Open the algorithm and you can have an input of the polygon, the vertices, or the extracted. I'm going to go with the vertices layer that we chose. I'm going to leave the field blank for now. And you will see under geometry type that you can have convex hull. Select convex hull, and I'm going to make another temporary layer for this. You can see that the minimum convex hull makes a simple polygon that includes all the points, and because it's convex, it just simply stretches, for example, a rubber band around all of the points. If you wanted a shape that dipped into the polygon, you would have to go obviously for something that was concave and not convex. The Processing Toolbox panel is a great way to find all the algorithms you need to do any kind of spatial analysis. And if you click on the drop downs, you can find most algorithms you need. If you come down to the status bar, you can type into this text box to search for any tools that you need that you know by name. So you can see the random extract tool is there. If you double click on it, it will open the tool the same way as opening it from the processing toolbox.
Now that we understand a bit more about the processing toolbox, let's play around and see what types of shapes and different enclosures we can get with the minimum bounding geometry. Open the minimum bounding geometry tool, and once the algorithm opens, choose the vertices that we created, and under geometry type, instead of convex hull, let's make envelope, and run the tool. You can now see that a rectangular shape has been created around our polygon. Let me pull the polygon to the top so we can see the shape. Pull out the name a bit, and we can name this envelope. Next, let's try the circle type. So let's try minimum enclosing circle. And we can use the polygon, or we could use the vertices that we made and click run. You can see that that creates a circular bounding around the polygon. Let's quickly rename that one so that we know which we used. Let's rename our first one to convex hull. Lastly, let's try out the oriented rectangle. We don't want it on the bounding geometry convex. Let's choose the polygon and run that. Close the algorithm and pull that polygon to the top, and you can see that that creates a rectangle, and it's angled to create the smallest rectangle around the polygon possible. Let's quickly rename that layer oriented rectangle. You can turn the different layers on and off to see what we have created, and pull out a bit to see the names of the different scratch layers that we've created. But this just gives you a good idea of using the processing toolbox and the minimum bounding geometry.